What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Gregson and welcome to Shifting Lanes. Once again, I'm standing in front of my 2005 Volvo V70R. This is my pride and joy, and it is my only car right now. I love this thing so much, and I'm trying to make it, well, bring it back to its former glory a little bit. I did a whole huge install of aesthetics last time you guys watched this channel, and you can check that out in the card above. Right now, I want to give this thing perfect stance. The OEM Pegasus wheels on this thing, they sit in a little bit and they're not really crazy aggressive. They're a very polarizing wheel. A lot of people don't like them, a lot of people do like them, but I want to push them out just a little bit to make this thing look more aggressive. I also want to make this thing look even better. So this is part 2 of my aesthetics install. Let's get into it right now. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching, and if you like what you see, please hit the big red subscribe button, the bell icon next to it to turn notifications on. We really would appreciate that, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it at the end. It really helps us out. If you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, welcome back, and thanks again for tuning in. You guys know this car. This is my love. This is my favorite car I've ever owned, and yes, that even includes my old Subaru WRX, which is now sold, and my 2007 Aston Martin V8 Vantage, the most famous Aston Martin Vantage on the internet, which is also sold. This thing is amazing. I absolutely love this car, and I want to make it, basically bring it back to factory fresh. I want to make it the best car it humanly can be and beat an E46 M3. But first, a quick announcement. We have t-shirts. This is the V70R that you see in front of you. This is my V70R project car. We have hoodies, t-shirts, iPhone cases, all sorts of things. Check the link in the description below or go to teespring.com/stores/shifting lanes. You can probably see that right underneath me. We have tons and tons of merch. If you guys want to buy it and support the channel, that'd be great. We actually don't make a ton of money on these things, but we wanted to provide you with some really cool Volvo paraphernalia and merchandise. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff in the future, Volvo inspired things with our project cars, with just general Volvo culture. So definitely check back. We're going to be doing a lot of really cool stuff there. So what are we going to do today? We're going to install wheel spacers, make this thing look a lot more aggressive. We're going to install white mirror caps to complete the blue and white theme on this thing, and we're going to see if we can solve a small problem. So without further ado, let's get into the spacers, let's get into the caps, and we're also going to clean these wheels because, as you can see, they're white and they got super dirty in the 1 week that I went to the car wash. Let's take a look at those first. Okay, so just in the 1 week that I've had these on the road, you can see these are absolutely filthy. Now, this doesn't really bother me that much because these are actually my winter wheels. And I don't really think that it makes too much difference to me because if you come back here, from 20 feet away, they look really awesome. And on the road as they're spinning, they look really, really cool too. But up front, you can see as the, hell, it's raining outside, so it's pretty gross. As you can see, as the water beads, you get these really nasty marks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean these up with some really cool products we were sent. So I'm gonna take the wheels off. I'm going to clean them up with this, which should actually turn all the dirt and iron filings and all that stuff purple and make sure that it's clean. And then we're going to install these, which are wheel spacers. These are from Viva Performance. We got these through Connor and George. And this is a really nice kit. These are 10mm spacers. They should make the stance a lot more aggressive. Right now you can see the back wheel is kind of tucked in and this front wheel is also tucked in. Basically what this is gonna do is push it more towards the wheel arch to make it a little bit more aggressive. Now with this kit you need extended wheel bolts. So whenever you do anything more than 5mm on these cars, spacer wise, you need extended bolts. Because the OEM bolts will not, well, they will grab, but they're not really that safe. And later in the video, I want to talk about how spacers are also safe to use. They're not the greatest thing to use if you're going for a performance application, but again, these are winter wheels and I'm going for a look here and I'm already winded. So let's take off these wheels. Let's clean them up, let's put the spacers on, and then we'll also install these really cool white mirror caps to complete this look. Let's hit it. Guys, before we put the spacers on, I have to show you, look at how good these wheels came out. Holy crap. They look sick. I cannot believe it. Every one of you guys, well, not everyone, but so many people said how annoying it is to keep white wheels clean. And yeah, that's very true. But when they do look clean, they look incredible. I am so happy with these wheels and how everything came out. What a great, great finish. And just to give you an idea, that's what it looks like clean. And once again, this is what it looks like not clean. So what a crazy difference. All right, cool. So with that said, let's get the spacers on here and I will tell you exactly how to put them on and we'll then do the rest of the car. So let's get to it. After much finagling, it's on, and man, those new bolts look really good. The spacers are in, and you can see as I come around, the stance is a lot more flush to the actual bodywork, and it does not stick in as much, which is nice. Now compare that to the front, which I showed you earlier, and you can see the back here is much more pushed out and the fronts are still tucked in. So you can actually see it as you look down the body, the backs are pushed out a lot more and that looks really, really nice. Now, one thing you probably saw on the time lapse, I don't have the tool to line these up properly. It's fine, I actually lined them up perfectly, but there's a tool that basically you just screw into here and it's just a guide to have everything on. You don't have to have it, obviously, you can put your wheels on as normal, but it's a huge help. I don't have it. I don't have one on hand. I should have picked one up. They're like $3, $4, $5 from Harbor Freight. You can just grab one. But this is on. Now we're gonna move on to the rest of these wheels. Let's cue the time lapse and get the rest of these wheels done, clean, and spaced out. Now I have the wheel back on, I've hand tightened the bolts on the front, but I wanted to show you in here, that metal is actually where this tire has been rubbing straight through to the metal underneath the wheel arch and the wheel, this plastic back here. So what this means is that these cars do rub inside, and there's proof right here. So this is all plastic here, and basically that inside of this wheel or inside of this tire has been rubbing, and it's the same story on the other side. I was gonna leave this wheel off, but everything else in here looks really good as far as how this inside of this wheel actually looks. You can see there's no other rubbing inside. It's not bottoming out. Basically because the car is lowered on these BC Racing coilovers, which you can see here is the adjustment wheel. And yeah, the only rubbing part is there, and that's a known thing with these cars. Basically at full lock, you'll get tire rub against the inner wheel, and that is not good. It wears down your tire. It goes right through to the bare metal, as you can clearly see. So not great, but what these spacers will do is pull the tire and wheel away from that so that there is no rub at lock. Let's get the rest of these wheels and tires on, and that should be no more. Now these couldn't be easier to take off. You basically just take a pry bar tool. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. Get up underneath the plastic here, and let's see if I can get it in here. This is gonna be a little tough one-handed, but you do this, get up under there, and just pull back. That pops it right off. Super, super easy. Boom, and there are our blues. All right, guys, we're outside, and look at the difference. Oh my God, and the mirror caps set off the wheels, and it looks so good. Man, I am loving this spec on this car. That orange moose sticker does need to go, at least for the winter. Maybe I'll put a different one on, but oh, guys, this thing is sick looking. I cannot believe how good this came out. Now these caps, I put about maybe 7 or 8 layers on, and you can still see there are some imperfections here. There's a little bumps, there's some maybe some texturing that you can't see, but yeah, they're not perfect. But again, these are winter caps. They're supposed to be seen from about here and look really good, and man, they really do. Same thing with the wheels. They cleaned up so nice. A word to the wise, definitely clean off the corrosion on these hubs when you take these wheels off, because man, it took me about 2.5 hours to put spacers on this car, because when Mavis put these Nokian winter tires on, they shoved the wheels back on the hub without cleaning any of the corrosion off, and I had to PB blast and also heat, believe it or not, a little bit of the wheel inside to actually get them off. So a 1 hour job tops. Took me about 2.5 hours, which stinks, but the results speak for themselves. I think this looks absolutely incredible. Whether you guys like it or not, you know, let me know in the comments, but I really think this looks super good. The next thing I want to talk to you about is spacers. Now, another part of this video that I'm not sure how I'm titling this yet, but part of this video is I want to talk about how spacers are okay for cars, because if you look online, you will see a total different information kind of bomb about, are spacers okay, are they unsafe, and I want to talk to you about that. So let's hop in the car and let's have a little chat. So it's the next day. I actually just got out of the dealer because I was going to look at a new daily driver, and there is a chance that, well, I could be getting another Volvo, but that remains to be seen. I have a bunch more cars to drive. And while I was there, I got an oil change and actually had them look at a small problem. I had a very loud noise coming from the front right of the car. It basically sounded like the treads were too loud, honestly, on the winter tires, the Nokian Hakkapeliitta R3s that I put on this thing. But it turns out it was actually a bad wheel hub bearing, or a wheel bearing, or whatever. The whole thing was bad. I guess what happened is when the WRX smashed into this, the problem did not present itself until the original Pegasus wheels and the new winter tires were put on. Then it presented itself, and it was just making a very loud noise. It sounded like a wum, like you would with a bad wheel bearing, but it really just sounded like the treads were bad, and it just didn't feel right, it didn't sound right. So they replaced that. I got a good discount from them. I went to Prestige Volvo over in East Hanover, New Jersey, and I had Sean and Patricia help me out with the car. So big shout out to Sean and Patricia. You guys are awesome. Sean watches the channel. He's a viewer of it, and Patricia also watches. So thank you guys if you're seeing this. I really appreciate your help as always. And yeah, so basically the car is in really good shape. Now to get to the real crux of what I wanted to talk about just in this little quick drive was spacers. Are spacers safe to run on your car? And the quick answer to that is yes. There's a couple websites out there that give a good debunking of the information of why wheel spacers are okay to use. If you're going for a pure performance application, it's better to get wheels that have proper offset, or an offset that you want, that will work well with the car, that will perform optimally. Wheel spacers are not only there to make your car look stanced out and look a little cooler, but they also do provide a function. For this car specifically, as you saw earlier in the video, there was a bunch of tire rubbing on the inside of the wheel arches and rubbing it down to bare metal, which is not good. Now these spacers pushed everything out. I've put it to full lock on each side, and there's no rubbing. So there is some functionality to that, which is great. Not only that, but the car looks amazing. I think the stance looks so much better. The wheels are pushed more out to the outside of the wheel arches, and it just looks really a lot more aggressive and a lot more flush to the body, which I think is super nice. And the car rides and drives beautifully. So the set from Viva Performance really, really good. Thank you, Connor and George. Again, if you guys want to check out Viva Performance, link in the description below to their main page. And I gotta say, this wheel makes me want to drive this car even more. The wheel feels so nice. It's just so the tactileness of it, the newness of it, the stitching matches, the Atacama seats. It's just so cool, and it really makes me want to drive the car even more. So that's really, really great, and everything is coming out really, really well. This is part 2 of the whole aesthetics fix of this car. There are 2 more parts to this, and they are going to come in the spring. So part 3 and 4 should come hopefully around May, right before Carlisle. We'll get this car cleaned up and perfect for Carlisle to hopefully show there. In that kind of vein, we are all going to Carlisle. Hopefully all 3 of the Shifting Lanes guys will be there. Myself, Chad, and Hanson with all 3 of our cars. And you know, if I get a new daily, maybe my wife and my son will join us, and we'll have a 4th Volvo. Who knows? But like I said, I have a bunch more cars to drive to see exactly what I want to have as my next daily, because this thing is super awesome, but it is definitely not a it's not going to be a great dad mobile anymore, because it's going to be loud, fast, handle crazy, and be super stiff and not exactly baby friendly. Dailyable, sure, but not the best family car. I have my son's car seat in here because this is my only car right now. Everything else got sold. But with that said, I'm very happy with how everything is coming out with this car. It's really coming out nicely. With all that said, that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support our channel, you can go to patreon.com/shiftinglanes and support us there. If you want, you can buy one of the t-shirts like I showed you in the beginning of the video. That is teespring.com/stores/shiftinglanes. All of those links are in the description. If you want to get in contact with us, it is contact@shiftinglanes.com. And if you want to follow us on social media, it is @shiftinglanes, or you can follow me on social media @RealGregsonM. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. See ya.